actually, yeah, we could look at Psalms 22:1, is it? Yeah, you could have a look at that and see what it says there. Okay, go through this. The book of Psalms, translated out of the original Hebrew, so that would be the original ancient, very old Ketav Ivri, right, not the modern Israeli Hebrew. And with the former translations diligently compared and revised by the New York American Bible Society. It's quite a hard subject to tackle, right? So some may think, well, what are you getting at? Well, we're trying hard to verify what this Brian guy was saying. Okay, it's gone all blurry. They've blotted it out. Okay, you can just see it. But if you went to, say, Psalms 22, so we can go there. That's what we're after. To see what it actually says. Maybe it's not going to show us. Because apparently, there we go. Don't know what chapter this is. Okay, maybe it's 50 something. Gone too far ahead. Because apparently Christ on the cross quoted Psalms 22. Okay, we're probably too far ahead. Looks like that's 50 or something. Okay. Just to see what they've actually translated it as. If we can find it. Might be an easy way to do that. Let's have a look. See if we can do it this way. Set 15. That's 25. Right, that's 15. Jeez, learn your Roman numerals. Okay, so let's go forward here. 18. Set 19. 20. 21. 22. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me and from the words of my roaring? Okay, our recollection of the Old Testament Ketav Ashret, Psalms 22:1, where Christ cried out or David cried out to God. He doesn't state, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? He says something completely different. Why hast thou ignored me? Something like that. Yeah? Why are you not paying attention to me? Why are you not hearing me? Why are you ignoring me? Why art thou so far from helping me and from the words of my roaring? Yeah? It's not saying this in the original manuscripts. The Lishana Atika Sapreya of the Ketav Ashret, or the original Assyrian Aramaic or Syrian Aramaic. So that's what you've got to watch out for. Hopefully they haven't added the Apocrypha to this particular version. Harvard Divinity School, 1933. Another theological college. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of a hard one for us to actually verify where they've corrupted it. So you have to have a look at that video. Actually, we'll go have a look at it. You can always put the links to these, that's why we saved them. We'll go have a look at it. Hopefully it loads. Take a couple of seconds. But yeah, this guy Brian, he's done his research. We've actually featured a couple of, well, actually more than once, more than 5 times, under our videos. Try and find this short 10-minute version. We found that's better than our video, which is way longer. And another one that was actually longer by Brian, this guy Brian. Okay, see if we can find it here. There's nothing to do with it. Don't wait. Okay, see if we can find it. See something. It might actually be differently. Is it actually going? No, it hasn't gone there. Oh, there we go. Found it.
I was recently given this paper from the American Bible Society to show me that the King James Bible is just one of many Bibles, and it's just a ridiculous bunch of lies on here, very typical of Alexandrian modern textual criticism. Roman Catholic is really who's behind these new versions. But I want to show you in more detail this thing because it's just ridiculous. So let's take a look at this. Alright, here you can see the chart of the English Bible. Let me zoom in a little bit here so we can get a little bit more detail. Here we have Hebrew Old Testament and Greek New Testament. Now right away you see an error there because they're only showing you that there's only one Greek New Testament, only one Hebrew Old Testament, and they go on to produce all these versions. Not true. As I've shown many times, you have Nestle-Aland, you have Textus Receptus. There are 2 Greek texts. There's not just one. And there are, multiple editions of both of these. There's United Bible Society's text, Majority text. I mean, there's many, many, many Greek New Testaments. So right there, deception number 1. Okay? So then you have, it comes down here, and they say about the 3rd through 2nd century BC Septuagint Greek Old Testament. Again, they lie. That's not true. You can study that thing out. The whole thing of the Septuagint, the early Christians used a Greek translation of the Hebrew Scriptures. I'll show you that, a little bit more detail on that in just a minute or two here. Then it goes down to Jerome's Latin Bible. Okay? Greek New Testament comes here, and it goes right over there to Jerome. What about the Waldensians? Where are they at? How do they factor in here? Oh, well, they're not mentioned. So in other words, the very first group to have the Bible, according to the American Bible Society, is the Roman Catholic Church. That's a lie taught by Roman Catholicism, that the Catholic Church gave us the Bible, not a...
So we were also told through someone's comment that it originally came from the Roman Catholic Church. So he's just verified that that person's statement is false, that they're preaching false claims, right? So you would deem them false or a liar with their incorrect statement.
But all true. Then it goes down here to Wycliffe's Bible, and then over here to Martin Luther, and then Tyndale, and then you go down Coverdale, Great Bible, Matthew's Bible, Geneva Bible, they're all over the place here. And the Bishop's Bible, Dewey Reams.
So Martin Luther, Tyndale, Wycliffe, etc. Martin Luther being a Roman Catholic monk, translator, scribe, etc. for the Roman Catholic Church. Tyndale being associated or affiliated with that mother church. Part of the Reformation with Martin Luther. Him and Martin Luther split. I think Tyndale went to London apparently to do a rewrite of the New Testament, maybe the Old and New Testament, and then came back, and then they posted in English for the people, or so that people could read it, because the people weren't allowed to read the Latin, learn the Latin, etc. It's like they didn't want them to know what was actually in the Bible. They just had to rely on the Mother Church and their priests, monks, whatever. So they posted the translation up on a door, right, which started the Reformation. That's what Martin Luther was, Tyndale was, Wycliffe, etc. They were reformists, wanting change, wanted changes from the Roman Catholic Church, the Mother Church, that they were affiliated to. So yeah, sure, then came the Protestants, which we covered in the other video. They were protesting. They wanted change, i.e. reform. But they were still affiliated with the Roman Catholic Church. So there were some Protestant sects that broke away and didn't have nothing to do with the Roman Catholic Church, etc., etc. later on, but there's still those that are associated with it, because like in Revelations where it states they share in the her iniquities, right, what she's done over the centuries to the world deans and other saints, etc., right, martyrdom and all that sort of stuff, the Inquisition, because she can make them wealthy, she can make them rich, right? These merchants, when it's destroyed, they weep and wail, oh no, all her finery is gone, all our merchandise is gone, all our means to get wealthy, it's gone, she's been destroyed, oh woe is us, what are we going to do, right? We can't sell our goods anymore, we can't become rich, according to the book of Revelations. That's what it's talking about, this false church, this harlot, etc., etc. The final wrath, the wrath that she deserves coming from God, right? And he has given her, this enemy, the authority, the power to destroy her. Okay, they really hate her. So you would have to look at our video on the Aramaic Galilean or Galilean Aramaic translation into English of Revelations, of who that enemy is, right, in modern times, since the first translation, printing and publication of the Aramaic New Testament by Victor N. Alexander, 2015. Apparently in his footnotes we noticed that he's put this nation with its satellite states, which was referring to the USSR, or Soviet Russia, in 2015 at that time, right? They're supposedly creating a new world empire. So these modern days, these times of late, there is a notice of a rise in China's power, their threat, etc., i.e. the communists. So maybe they would be that which destroys this supposed empire on the Seven Hills, the false church, the harlot, etc., etc. She'll never be seen again because they burnt her, right? She's totally gone, annihilated. Or, as it states in the Galilean Aramaic, it could be the Soviet Union, communists again, right? It's those two. Well, Russia's the second superpower, right? So maybe China's becoming the third superpower. Maybe they'll unite. Maybe they'll have this other faction behind them as bully boys to do their work. Go invade, go door to door. Are you of this faith? Do you believe this? Do you believe that? Do you accept it? No. What are you, a Christian? Yeah. Lop, off goes your head. What are you, Jew? Lop, off goes your head because you don't accept our dictates, our belief system. Are you an atheist? Yeah, I don't believe in anything. Well, do you accept our religion? No, we don't accept any. That's why we're atheists. Lop, off goes your head. They don't care who you are. If you don't believe in their belief system, their religion, their whole thing is to lop off your head. Okay, because they may want to dominate the whole world as they have done through history with their particular religion. This was Muhammad's plan apparently, but he died in battle, or he died naturally or something before he could do that. But the others, his followers, decided, yeah, we'll take it to Europe, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll conquer the world with it. Okay. In these days they're using extremists are going through Syria, etc., destroying the old artifacts, kicking people out of their homes, basically taking over the land, through their terrorism and stuff like that. So who's next, right? If America falls, and all the allies, all the other countries that are under her will look to her for that protection, security in times of strife, war, etc. Sorry, you won't have anyone to help you, right? Especially if their war machine is 4% and the communist one is up 60%, right? There's no way they'll be able to match them. Okay, that's why Obama backed down when Russia, Vladimir Putin was threatening to move in on Ukraine, etc., like that. Yeah, he just didn't have the might. But apparently Trump got in, and he boosted the military economy, or the economy and then the military power. Yeah, he did quite well there, according to the different news reports and so forth. Yeah, so we'll go back to this video to see what Brian has to say, the rest of what he has to say.
The Jesuit Bible, and that comes over here to the King James Bible, and then you get down here, you have some more Catholic ones, and from the King James Bible it goes down to the English Revised Version, the American Standard Version, Revised Standard Version. Nope.
That's the New King James Version that they brought out in the 80s or something like that.
American Standard Bible, New King James Bible, and then you get all this godless, depraved mess down in here. Weymouth, Centenary, New Testament, Phillips, Barclay.
See there, the Good News Bible, we already covered that. Came out 1976, 1979, whatever. And they've done a revision of it, a new version of it, of late. Probably about 2016, 18, whatever it was. Right, and they've added the Apocrypha. Okay, so they're going to do this, do that to all these, their versions, coming through this publication, or American Bible Society, and others similar or associated with it, like the British Bible Society, etc., etc. Right, they're going to do the same thing.
All this stuff, and see, it's all now we have all these quote-unquote Protestant things mixed in with Jerusalem and the New American Bible. So Catholic and Protestant Bibles, they're all the same. It's just more modern, updated King James Bibles. See, it's all just one big happy family of Bibles. The Catholic Bibles and the Protestant, they all just kind of intertwine, and they come down here to our new modern versions. This is a total lie. And this is the kind of junk that you're going to be taught in a seminary. Alright, now let me just show you a couple more things in a little bit more detail.
Here's the kicker. Right, this is where all the corruption, all the lies are coming through this American Bible Society. That's what we're trying to get at. So I thought, well, we went around circles trying to find it through their writings, etc., etc., but the only real place to find it in great detail would probably be this video through this Brian guy.
Here we have the thing about the Greek Septuagint. It says the Old Testament was translated into Greek during the 3rd and 2nd centuries BC for Jews living outside of Palestine. The name Septuagint Latin for 70 reflects the tradition that it was translated in Egypt by 70 elders in 70 sessions. It became the Bible of the first generation of Christians to evangelize the Hellenistic world. A lie. This whole thing here is a lie. They claim that it was 12 Jews from each of the 12 tribes, or not 12 Jews, it was 6 Jews from each of the 12 tribes, which of course is ridiculous. That would add up to 72, by the way, not 70. But also, if you study the Old Testament, you'll see that the scriptures were to be kept by the tribe of the Levites and by nobody else. So the other tribes would never have joined into making a translation in Greek. That's stupid. And you have Jesus saying, not one jot or one tittle shall pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Jots and tittles are Hebrew letters. Okay, they are not Greek. This whole thing here is a concocted lie put out by the Roman Catholic Church, because they have to have their apocryphal books, which are part of the Septuagint. They have to have those to prove a lot of their warped doctrines. Okay?
So that's why they add them to all your new revised American modern Bible versions. That's probably what they'll do. Because they've got to, like you said, they've got to get the Apocrypha out there. They want you to forget about the King James Version, ignore that, don't use it anymore, chuck it aside, etc., etc., and rely on their new translations with the Apocrypha added.
Study that thing a little bit more. Write me, I can give you more resources to study that. And of course it goes down in here to the Greek New Testament, and it talks about the Old Testament, that they used by the end of the 2nd century, the Old and New Testaments in Greek were used by the church as a special group of sacred writings. They lied. Right there again. Here's your lie. Just ridiculous. Then you go down to the Vulgate Bible with Jerome. See, starts out with the Catholics, goes from the early Christians to the Catholics. The church was founded upon Saint Peter, and he was the first pope. See, then it goes down to here. This is just Roman Catholic is all it is. This is not Christian. All right, these are lies that have been perpetuated by the Roman Catholic Church, and now supposedly being carried out by supposedly Protestant groups. Then it goes into John Wycliffe. Then it goes down here to Martin Luther, and it's being carried out by.
Okay, this is what we said in one of our earlier videos. Here's an example. Bede, if that's how you say it. Bede, the great historian of Anglo-Saxon England, began to translate portions of the Latin Vulgate Bible into the English of his day, because only the scholars could understand Latin. Okay, that's Martin Luther, etc., etc., being a monk, scribe, translator, affiliated with, or as a member of the Roman Catholic Church. That was his church, the mother church, the Roman Catholic.
Supposedly Protestant groups. Then it goes into John Wycliffe.
So sorry, didn't finish off that sentence. So he would have been the only one, apart from the other scribes and monks and translators in the Roman Catholic Church in his day, that could read it, write the language, speak it, translate it, etc. None of the common people out there had any idea, because they weren't allowed to read it. Only these, those who were like privileged, the wealthy, those who had money, had coin, whatever, that could pay for that sort of education were the ones that were able to look at it, read it, speak it, and translate it. Okay.
Then it goes down here to Martin Luther, and it says the Reformation brought a renewed demand for the Bible in the language of the people. Luther himself prepared the German
There you go. The Reformation brought a renewed. That's a totally. It's redone. It's done over again, right? A new version, demanding for the Bible in the language of the people, because the people, as we stated, had no idea. They couldn't speak Latin, they couldn't read it, couldn't write it. They weren't privileged. So Luther himself prepared the German translation, New Testament 1522, Old Testament 1534. This was the first Western European Bible not based on the Latin Vulgate, but on the original Hebrew and Greek text. Yeah, so that would have been from the Ketav Ivri, right, and the Koine Greek.
Translation, New Testament 1522, Old Testament 1534. This was the first Western European Bible not based on the Latin Vulgate, but on the original Hebrew and Greek texts. The original Hebrew and Greek, well, they didn't have the original Hebrew and Greek.
Exactly.
And by the way, what was the Greek text that Martin Luther used? It was the Textus Receptus.
Yeah, received text.
It was not the Nestle's text that all the new versions are based on. But they don't tell the reader that. They just conveniently leave that out. And then again, they talk about Tyndale and the fact that he used the original Greek too, and right here you have it, translated the New Testament from the original Greek. They don't tell you what the original Greek was. Exactly. The reader is left to believe, so you go down through Coverdale and all the other Bibles that were created up until the King James Bible, okay, and how it became the most popular English Bible.
Look at that. The various versions of the Bible, the King James Bible, aroused so many arguments that James I, after the Hampton Court Conference, appointed 54 scholars to make a new version. He didn't like the Puritan one as well. It took about 7 years to complete the work, a monument to the critical scholarship of the time. Despite the great variety of the men who worked on it, the translation was harmonious in style and beautiful,